channel. Now I have remodified the channel only for academic purpose, so it will be helpful for all the professionals in radiography along with the students who are pursuing this course. I have included the topics from patient care, positioning terminology, radiation physics, nuclear medicine, radiation safety along with radio diagnosis. I have included question and answers along with a brief explanation too, so it will be very easy for you to understand. If you are happy with my channel, please don't forget to share among your friends, colleagues as well as the students. If you have any suggestions or if you have any topics to be included, you may feel free to mail to my mail address which is given in my slide. Thank you so much for all your support, and please do support me. And once again, thank you so much. Welcome to the part 1 exam coaching for radiography. In today's session, I have included questions from patient care as well as from positioning terminology. So let us see the questions included for the today's session. Question number 1. The plane that passes vertically through the body dividing into anterior and posterior halves is termed the option A. Mid-sagittal plane, option B. Mid-coronal plane, option C. Sagittal plane, and option D. Transverse plane. The answer is option B. Mid-coronal plane. Mid-coronal plane divides the body into anterior and posterior halves. Mid-sagittal plane divides the body into right and left halves. Transverse plane or the axial plane divides the body into superior and inferior half. And any plane parallel to mid-sagittal plane is termed as sagittal plane. Question number 2. The position of the hypersthenic gallbladder as compared to the position of the asthenic gallbladder is more. Option A. Superior and lateral. Option B. Superior and medial. Option C. Inferior and lateral. And option D. Inferior and medial. The answer is option A. Superior and lateral. The different types of body habitats are: hypersthenic means large frame and heavy set, asthenic means average person, hyposthenic means tiny, small and smaller than average, and asthenic means extremely thin. In large extreme, hypersthenic will have structures higher and more lateral, whereas small extreme asthenic have structures low and medial. Question number 3. What is the relationship between the mid-sagittal and transverse planes? Option A parallel, option B perpendicular, option D 45 degree, and option D 70 degree. The answer is option B perpendicular. The mid-sagittal plane divides the body into right and left half. The transverse plane or the axial plane passes across the body, also perpendicular to the sagittal plane, and divides the body into superior and inferior halves. Question number 4. The best way to control voluntary motion is option A. Mobilization, option B. Careful explanation, option C. Short exposure time, and option D. Physical restraint. The answer is option B. Careful explanation. In order to control voluntary motion, the patient understanding and cooperation is required. Thus, good communication is required, and involuntary motion can be reduced by short exposure time. Question number 5. Prior to X-ray examination of the skull and cervical spine, the patient should remove
These are the few criteria. Means first one is the dentist, second one is the earring, and the third one is the necklace. And the option A is 1 only, option B is 1 and 2 only, option C is 2 and 3 only, and option D is 1, 2 and 3. So the answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. Patient should be instructed to or remove all metallic objects from the area of interest, or else it may obscure bony details. Question number 6. Image identification markers should include. Here also I will be reading few of the criteria. After that the options. So the first one is patient name and ID number. Second one is date. Third one is a right and left marker. Option A is 1 only. Option B is 1 and 2 only. Option C is 1 and 3 only. And option D is 1, 2 and 3. The answer is 1, 2 and 3. Radiographic image should be accurately labeled with patient information such as name or identification number, institution name, date of examination and side marker. Question number 7. The radiographer should be able to. Here also I will be reading few of the criteria. First one is take a short patient history prior to the examination. Second one is modify the routine position to obtain similar images in patient unable to move. Third one is evaluate the patient conditions and needs. Here the option A is 1 only, B is 1 and 2 only, option C is 1 and 3 only, and option D is 1, 2 and 3. Here the answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. In order to provide safe and effective care, the radiographer should obtain a brief clinical history along with assessing the patient condition by observing and listening. And if the patient is too injured or ill to move, the radiographer should be capable of modifying routine positions to obtain images with the required anatomical information. Question number 8. With the patient recumbent and the head positioned at a lower level than the feet, the patient is said to be in the option A, Trelleborg position, option B, Fowler position, option C, decubitus position, and option D, Sims position. The answer is option A, Trelleborg position. In the Fowler position, the patient's head is positioned higher than feet. The decubitus position, the patient as recumbent. Recumbent, it can be prone, supine or lateral with the central ray horizontal. The Sims position is the left anterior oblique position. Left anterior oblique position is otherwise known as the Sims position. Question number 9. Before bringing the patient into the radiographic room, the radiographer should. Here also I will be reading the few criteria. The first one is be certain that the X-ray room is clean and orderly. Second one is check that all necessary accessories are available in room. Third one is check for clean X-ray table and fresh pillowcases. Option A is 1 only. Option B is 1 and 2 only. Option C is 2 and 3 only. And option D is 1, 2 and 3. Here also the answer is option D, 1, 2 and 3. A patient will feel more comfortable and confident if he or she is brought into a clean, orderly X-ray room that has been prepared for the examination to be performed. Question number 10. The lower portion of the costal margin is approximately at the same level as the Option A, mid-thorax. Option B, umbilicus. Option C, xiphoid tip. And option D, third lumbar vertebrae. The answer is option D, third lumbar vertebrae. The lower costal margin is at the level at L3. The umbilicus is the same approximate level as the L3 to L4 interspace. The xiphoid tip is above the same level as T10. The fourth lumbar vertebra is at the same approximate level as the iliac crest. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Hope you all have understood all the question and answers discussed today. If you all are happy with my class, you may please share with your friends, colleagues and students who are undergoing or pursuing this course. It will be very helpful for everyone since a small explanation is also given along with the question as well as the answers. So once again, thank you so much, and if you have anything, queries or suggestions, you may feel free to mail to my address given in this slide. Stay tuned for the next session.